In today's video, you're going to learn how to braid the two-tone hair of violet sorrengail for the fourth wing pattern. First step is to fill in the back of the head with horizontal satin stitches. That way, you won't be able to see the cloth underneath as you braid. Next is to create long turkey stitches. This is also referred to as turkey work and is similar to the fringe stitch. Basically, you'll be creating long loops that will be trimmed later to look like long strands of hair. Once you've finished with the brown, now it's time to add in the gray streaks. You will only put these at the bottom of the head. That way, her hair will eventually turn into all gray, just like described in the book. Once you've finished going around the head with all of the turkey stitches, it's time to trim the loops. Make sure when you're cutting them that you are doing it at the longest possible length. Once all the loops are cut and trimmed, you can separate the strands using your needle or a very small brush if you have one. Once they're separated, it's time to start braiding. We're going to be doing a French braid starting from the top of the head. So your first step is to separate the hair into 3 sections. As you start braiding, you will carefully add more sections from the side of the head. You can use your needle to separate the hairs more carefully. This video is a little long. I went ahead and kept in the full footage of me braiding the hair to show you how I did it and also kind of what a difficult time I had. So if you struggled to get it, know that I did too, and eventually you'll figure it out. This is where it starts to get tricky. Since the brown hair is shorter than the silver hair, you're going to have some flyaways. I've tried to mitigate this by twisting the brown and the silver together, so the silver overlaps the flyaways from the brown hair. As you braid, try to put the flyaway ends on the inside of the braid. Watch my hands as I flip over the shorter part of the brown and try to overlay it with the longer silver pieces. Don't be discouraged if this doesn't work out the first time you try it. Honestly, this was my third time doing it. And don't worry about the flyaways, I'll show you how to fix them in just a minute. Once you finish the braid, you're going to tie it off with some black string. You can really use any color you want, but I figured she would use black. Simply wrap it around 2 or 3 times before flipping the hair over and tying a double knot on the back side of the braid where it won't be visible. Then trim the ends as short as you can get them. Now we'll handle the flyaways. Take your nippers or your scissors and trim the ends on the underside of the braid, but only the flyaways on the underside. We'll do something different with the top side. I found that using my needle on the top worked best to push the flyaways underneath the folds of the braid as you go down. Kind of hard to explain, but you kind of see what I mean here. For the flyaways on the underside of the braid, once they're short enough, I go ahead and super glue them. That way they never come undone and the braid will always stay the same. Don't do this on the top side because it makes the thread a darker color and you don't want it to be discolored. Your last step is to trim the ends of your hair. Try to make it as even as possible. If you want to get fancy, you can try to layer it. I did not. I just made sure that the ends were even for the most part. There's going to be some natural shorter ones. I thought it looked okay. You can do whatever you like, but that's pretty much it. And you're done.